Welcome everyone to Bad Work Stories Made Good. This is the channel where you get to hear Emma and I kind of chit chat, banter away, and share different perspectives on some bad stuff. Brackets. You know what I want to say in there, but I'm not going to. It goes down in the workplace. And seriously, we've had many years of experiencing, watching this, coaching, helping people through this stuff. So we're on a mission to help you stop this stuff in the workplace. So, we honestly believe that, we can work together with no drama and that we can really enjoy our collaboration, as demonstrated with Emma and I, as you can see right here. So check out some of our past. You can go through, there's a huge inventory of bad work stories there. But every now and again, in fact, every 10th one, we do a good work story. So make sure you check those out. So welcome, Emma. Welcome back.
Thank you, Corina. What an awesome intro.
Ooh, on a flow here. So we have the beautiful, I don't know, is that a screen that we got behind the beautiful, New Zealand dawn, or is it?
No, it actually is the rain. It's the continual rain of New Zealand that's going on behind me. So yeah, I bring a little bit of, greenery in to make me feel like it feels like a rainforest. It's tropical.
Excellent. Well, you're doing
cold,
better on the green than me. Excellent. Well, let's just jump straight in. So tell us about your bad work story that in our heads up this morning is pretty freaking terrible. This is bad. But over to you. Share with our listeners around this week's bad work story.
Totally. Well, yeah, very bad actually. But the story is about a micromanager that drove a team member to near breakdown. So Jay, we'll just use an initial for this one, was a New Zealand manager of a multinational organisation, and she reported into the Australasian regional head in Australia, and she was a very qualified, capable, and high performing manager. But when this new manager arrived, so this wasn't, she didn't apply for the job through her. She had someone appointed over the top of her, something we should talk about sometime, how you deal with that. But yeah, this new manager arrived and instituted a regime of daily calls. Often at night, it's like a really micromanaging, constantly wanting to know what was going on, and really over communicating and being, petty and demanding, I think, relentless. And it really dragged, Jay's energy down totally. And so, one night she was actually having dinner with a friend before going to a movie. When she got a call from her boss, it was 7:30 p.m. at night. So in Australia, that's 5:30, still post kind of business hours. And really, we don't need to call people when these people are not in some life-saving or, critical kind of industry that, things would be happening that would, be really important to communicate at after hours. But anyway, so Jay decided that she was not going to answer this call because it was definitely going to be probably something that could wait for the morning. So she finished her dinner, went to the movie, but within 20 minutes she was not feeling well. And her heart was racing. She was struggling to breathe. She left the cinema just in time as she collapsed on the floor. Yeah, horrifying. And it's so totally scary. As she was talking about it, she just said, I don't know what was going to happen to me. And her friend called an ambulance, and she got to hospital. And the good news is, thankfully, that it wasn't a heart attack. It could have been a true tragedy we were talking about. However, after 5 hours in hospital, and the doctors agreed that she could leave, but gave her a warning that she was near burnout and that she needed to address her health urgently. And, soon after that, she resigned from her job, and, it's something she loved and had really been, as I say, at the top of her game on. But unfortunately, the work conditions had become unsafe.
Literally.
So,
yeah. Oh, wow. So
horrifying.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm glad that she's okay, now. Well, I mean, there's a health reprieve, if you like. But let me ask you, before we go into kind of sharing perspectives on it, is Jay kind of done a debrief on it? Like, has she kind of got some insights around it? I don't know, like if she's got that far through her process yet, or
Yeah, I mean, I think she's just taken time to heal, and she's going in a different direction with her career. She's happy and healthy. I mean, I think the most important thing for her was to focus back on her health,
mm,
and she was lucky enough to have a supportive partner who could financially carry the load. While she's basically been through a big journey. Yeah, I don't know that she's yet got to processing the big insights of what
mm,
she could do differently, but you know here we are to help and offer some suggestions on
yeah,
that too.
totally. And I can't remember what episode it is, but we've done something on burnout before, which might be useful for people to go back to. But yeah, so how do we make
Yeah.
this bad work story
Yes.
good?
How can we
How
help?
can we help? Well, here's a radical idea. Stop the frig ringing me. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and as simple as that sounds, I appreciate someone listening to everyone go, well, yeah, you tried that with my boss, right?
Yeah,
And of course,
exactly.
like power differentials and relationships and all of that stuff is in the mix, right? But honestly, like this, like the accountability. If we shift the well, not shift the accountability. If we stand in our accountability for our performance and move from being the passive receptor of micromanagement in the way that you've described that this person was experiencing, I mean, at what point do you say enough is enough? I
Mm.
mean, she obviously, like, it was enough to, like, on the on an ambulance, and that is extreme. I mean, endpoint of chronic stress, and as the doctor was saying, around burnout. So for anyone listening to this as a recipient in that kind of chronic stress at work, which is a big subject that we talk about and are very passionate about here on our channel, like,
Yeah,
what are you doing to actually like control what you can control, which is like,
absolutely.
again, like, personal boundaries on what's okay and what's not okay, and that ability to detach and self-regulate, like, like as you were saying, like in this example, there was some form of a panic attack, or it just got to a point where, like, not answering the phone and worrying about it just was, flipped her over the edge
Yeah.
there. It was just one anxiety piece too much. I mean, yeah. So what's in our power and control to actually regulate ourselves and control our environment, and to realize that stuff, I was about to say the other word again, is not okay.
Yeah.
It's just, like, it's a bit like, if anyone's listened to the podcast before, you talked about boundaries around touching and sexualized behavior in the workplace. It's not friggin' okay. Stop it. Get your friggin' boundaries sorted out. Yeah. you know
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's so true. Is like speaking up, and you were saying this power
Mm,
differential, but yet we should be we should be able
mm,
to speak our needs.
exactly. And
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
like, human being to human being. Like, you might have more responsibility and a bigger title than me and blah blah blah, but human to human that needs peace.
yes.
And I think, another kind of interesting piece is, why the frig are people micromanaging in the first place? Why is that an acceptable leadership style?
Yeah.
you know
And I wonder whether we're experiencing a lot more of this now because of hybrid working as well. And I
Mm,
think that transition's not been we're not working well yet in a remote sort of,
mm,
maybe some organizations are doing well, but that kind of fear that actually I can't see you in the office,
mm.
so I don't actually know what you're doing.
That's right.
And I think, because this is remote, there was possibly that, control freak manager going, what the hell is going on over there in New Zealand? I can't see you. I need to know. And so,
Mm,
yeah, on the other side, as a leader, if you are a leader who feels in that way, then you need to obviously work on better communication style to actually get clear on what are the outputs that and what are the touch points, right? So what are we expecting to deliver? What is the deliverables? When will we communicate and agree those? Like, it's almost like agree the rules of engagement. We've talked about this a lot. How do I like to have my communication style? Do I need a daily hand-holding phone conversation? At this level, I would have thought absolutely not. It's going to waste precious time and resource. Remembering, as you are leaders and in a management, you're expensive, right? So don't waste your organization's resources, time and money by pointless meetings, pointless conversations, pointless checking in,
pointless control.
pointless control.
Yeah, and I would add to that, if you're a leader who thinks, like, oh, maybe I'm doing that, or you're team member who thinks, oh, that's my boss. Like a lot of micromanagers that I've, been around have this kind of, it's a bit like their perspective is, I'm protecting the team. Right, and they're oblivious to actually the consequences of that, which is suffocation, disengagement, creating people who really, I might as well not do anything because you're just going to come along and correct my PowerPoint or redo my presentation, or what am I here for? I might as well not be here. Can I not make a decision? Like, that's my pay grade, like, why are you treating me like a child or whatever it is? So, going back a step in terms of the fear that they're under, the domino effect of power and pressure, that, oh my God, if we don't get this right, then I'm going to get it in the neck. You're going to get it next. So, what really I'm doing is taking care of us and the team. One perspective, but has consequences. And are those consequences what you stand for as an organization that are going to be hitting us in high performance? Well, everything says no. It's like, if you want people to be creative and high performing and accountable, that's not the way to go about it, right? But if you want people just to turn into yes people and do the minimum output and work yourself into the bone, and you be, on an ambulance floor at some point, hopefully not, but, a victim of chronic stress, well, then you're heading in the right direction. Please stop as well. Like, it's not good for your health.
Yeah.
No.
And
I think a lot of leaders that we work with get confused about, well, I just want to support people. Right, but I really want to support people. Well, it's kind of like anyone's being a parent. The difference between empowering and holding hands and when to let go. Like, how do you support your kids to grow and develop and become their own independent, well-functioning citizens of the world? How do I help my team member grow and develop and have those checkpoints? Right? A lot of leaders I'm coaching are looking at, oh, but I need this, this, and this, and therefore I need to have, this kind of, this micromanagement feel on it. Where as you were saying, Emma, how can you actually kind of go, it's kind of like, instead of graphically, it was like, if this is micromanagement, it's kind of more like this around how these are my needs. Like, as your boss, you're brand new. I don't really know what, your capabilities are. I want to trust you, but I'd like to also, get some data, so I can set you free, as set you up for success as quickly as possible. And you have some needs. How do we bring them together? How do we put some timeframes around that so that, we create a very healthy and empowering, successful working relationship?
What an enlightened way to manage and work with people.
Yes, thanks. And I'm just,
because we want to get the best, right? To get the best out of someone, it's not about, controlling them. And, we know that, opening up for understanding each other's strengths, and, sharing, like, these are the places I need your help. I'm going to come to you when I need this, this kind of help, or, I want to develop in this area. Can you help me? So I think, totally that full on upfront dialogue about needs, expectations on both sides, is, going to be the way forward, and actually the way to start. Not, don't let yourself get to this
Mm,
situation.
mm,
Reverse the bus very
yeah.
quickly and go, hang on a minute. Well, I'm in a track I do not want to be on. And you hit the nail on the head. That trust, building trust,
Mm,
it does take time, but it takes honest communication, and it takes a bit of give and take. We've also talked about failure. I think we're going to talk a bit about it in another episode
mm.
soon. But you know, we all make mistakes. Things happen. Shit happens. Oh,
You
sorry,
said it.
there's that word. It came out. It happens, right? Things go
Yeah.
wrong, and but if you're in a fear situation and you haven't got trust, then you're more likely to hide it, put it down. Um, oh, sorry, what's going on there? Can you hear a phone
No,
call?
no, we're good over here.
Oh,
No, nothing there. But, that's all
sorry,
right.
sorry, my
Yeah.
phone. I just accidentally hit the call button. So anyway. Yeah, so I think, this definitely we want to build
Yeah,
trust, and
totally.
these are the ways up front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and like I've just lost my train of thought now. Actually, I'm thinking about your last one.
Sorry
That's all
about
right.
that
Yeah,
interruption on the
yeah,
phone
and I
call.
think like coming back to that question around like even with this like because in the situation going back to your case study was a new manager had come in, right? So again, if you've missed,
Yes.
we've done an episode on user manuals, really cool. Getting to know each
Yeah.
other. Again, the needs conversation between new people coming into a team, and particularly a new leader. If you are a new leader, reach out. We can certainly help you with that. Um, and the like that clarity of this is what I need to be successful. This is
Yeah.
I'm fine with a phone call here, but actually not at this is a cutoff point. That, and this is where I'm doing my deep work. This is when with the creative periods, this is not working. Feedback, having open feedback sessions, all of this stuff in theory, in place, would have helped, and because it's so practical, would have helped Jay in this story. And it's it's upsetting, really, that we have an example here where it got so frigging bad that we had someone in a hospital. I mean,
Yeah.
that's terrible. That's like why we do this work, so we don't have that
Absolutely.
stuff go on.
Going on.
So please, 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 if you are feeling like you're heading in that direction, or someone's heading in that direction, you know um you know
Get
get
support.
support.
Yeah, get
you
support.
know
Call a friend. Maybe that was what my phone call was all about. Just a reminder. Call a
yeah,
friend.
get some
You
support,
know.
call a friend, and get some strategies that can help you, and check out our burnout episode around, like, breathing, breath work, getting out into nature, gratitude practice, all the kind of the basics of how we can help regulate our nervous system and be in a good place where we can have these conversations with a micromanager that is in this space, because that's what I was going to say. They're in a discombobulated, kind of dysregulated place. So you have to kind
Yeah.
of be able to step out and help them in order to help yourself. So yeah, there
Totally.
you go. I think we've put
All right.
a lot in there too. So if you need any help, let us know. Hopefully there's lots of stuff that will start you
Absolutely.
thinking anyway. So till then,
Perfect.
make your bad work
Next
stories good.
time. Wow.
See you next week.